Fighting with anxiety, I put this war inside of me. How come I hate the ones I love? Taking pills, it's not enough. I'm so numb, it's tragedy. Hooked on a...
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Intervals podcast. My name is Nick, and today I'm here with Rivilin. How are you doing today, man?
Yo, I'm going good. Can't complain.
Yeah, we've been trying to plan out this interview for a while, and with our time zone differences, we finally got it together. All right, man. So for any people who have never heard your music before, a new fan, let's say, what would be one of the songs that you'd recommend for them to listen to for the first time?
Probably VHS Dreams or like Lucky, Honeydew. Pretty much any of like either the really heavy Linkin Park inspired ones or like just the really weird chill ones that I write. Like they're all sad, so it's not like there's going to be any different themes or like positive or sad, but like yeah.
Yes, okay. I like those songs too, man. And, so you just said that Linkin Park was one of your influences, and I was going to actually ask you because I've noticed you mix a lot of different sounds into your style of music that you make. So who are some of the influences that have kind of shaped this sound that you have now?
Look, I ain't gonna lie, like Lil Peep obviously is like a huge influence for like everyone like in this whole emo rap scene, but I've been trying to mix like emo rap with a lot of new metal, so anything from like old Slipknot to Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, all of that type of vibe. And I get a lot of Witch House vibes in some of my songs. Honestly, at the end of the day, I used to just get really high and just mash a bunch of sounds together, and whatever came out. But definitely Linkin Park is a huge vibe for me. That and just all that hardcore music, post-hardcore, like screaming, used to be in a bunch of hardcore bands. So that was a huge influence for me. And yeah, it's just mixing and mashing whatever genres I really want and making whatever I want sound cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Sound, yeah. So that's funny because I was gonna say I could see some of that new metal influence in your music as well.
Yeah, man, I love new metal.
There. And so you self-produce and engineer your own music also, is that correct?
Yeah. I use a lot of samples, but I do self-engineer most of it. Some of the songs I write my own guitar and parts in it. I get a bunch of new songs coming out with my friend from Japan. Well, it's my best friend. I've never actually met him, but I've known him for 10 years, and he plays saxophone. I'm just getting saxophone on these beats and stuff. They sound really good. But yeah, all self-produced, all self-done. I just got sick of working with bands and paying 10 grand for recordings. So I'm just like,
I get that.
Fuck it. Learn how to do it myself, and look where I am now.
There you go, man. It's good to hear. And so how did you get your start in making this kind of music?
Oh, well, so the channel that I upload a lot of my music to, Idle Glance, I think I was like hitting him up when he had like 7K subs and I had like 200 followers or something like that. And we just started working together, even though my songs were trash. I had when I actually got into the rap type of scene, it was my friend Marco, who was my ex-guitarist for an old band, and he's like, "Oh, I should try doing this rap stuff." I was terrible at it. He was doing all these like Lil Pump type beats. I'm like, man, it's not my vibe. I found like Bones and Lil Peep, and it was like more my vibe. I can feel like the rawness kind of in their songs. So I was just like, fuck it. Started mashing up a bunch of stuff. A lot of it was terrible. It's still not that happy with it, but it's a lot better than it was 6 years ago.
And then you gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. That's why like whenever I hear like friends doing demos and stuff, and if they're not like great in certain parts, it's like, who am I to judge their songs not being great when like my song was terrible to begin with? Like
hey, man,
all that type of stuff.
I like your music, so I'm a fan over here, so don't worry about that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So I've noticed that there are a lot of these sorts of themes of dark mental states, maybe some lost friendships. And I wanted to ask, for the fans that listen to your music and can really relate to these messages, how do you hope that your music can help them get through the tough times that they're going through?
Look, man, a lot of the time when I used to listen to music, when I used to listen to really heavy bands and stuff that would have a lot of anger in them or a lot of sadness. It was the community around it which got me through it. Like, there's not much of a community here where I am anymore, but I imagine that if you go to like a gig, you have a lot of people who can relate to the same type of music. And it's that relation that you have with like the music, even though those people, how do I say it? It's like watching a YouTuber, you can relate to them, but even though they don't know who you are, you'll feel like you're their friend kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you understand their story and you listen to it and it becomes similar to your story where you can relate to it. And it's all about just relating. And if anyone can relate to it and it helps them understand that they're not alone, then that's more than enough. Like, a lot of my themes have, like, yeah, as you said, like to do with friendship and losing friends, because there are a lot of bad people out there, a lot of snakes, a lot of people who will just use you to get where you want. And look, at the end of the day, I personally have made my own mistakes in life. Everyone has. We're all just human, and it's how we live through those mistakes and become a better person instead of stepping over other people. And I feel like if someone can relate to those types of issues and become a better person themselves, then my music's done its job.
I love that message that you send, man. That is beautiful. And you know, a lot of people relate to your music and a lot of people like what they relate to. So I hope that you keep conveying these sorts of deep messages that have real life connotations behind them. And I'm really glad that you're doing what you're doing, and it's helping a lot of
Thanks,
people.
man.
I'll tell you that.
I appreciate it heaps.
All right, man. So you have an album coming out in July, is that correct?
Yeah, I have a lot of songs that are unreleased, but I have that album. I've released a lot of the singles, so most of the singles I've released are from the album already. But I think by the time the album comes out in July, there'll be like 7 singles from the album released, but there's another 10 that haven't been released on it. So it's like a 17-track album. So yeah, no, it's probably one of my favorites. It's very heavy Linkin Park vibes. It's probably the most Linkin Park vibe album I've done. A lot of like programmed acoustic drums in there, a lot of heavier synths and shouting and screaming, but still keeping that raw essence of like emo rap and all that there. So yeah, and it's depressing, but it's I really loved it. There's a lot of themes to do with my grandfather in it,
wow.
friends, romance. But yeah, there's only so much you can write about romance, but everyone can relate to it, honestly.
That's true.
Like,
I'm expecting some deep issues to be coming up in some of these songs too, just like in your other music. So I'm excited to hear what you have to offer us in July, and I'm sure as most of your fans are as well.
yeah, no, it'll be good. I'm trying to actually think of some of the themes, but I just know that they're very sad and they made me depressed when I was listening back to it. So
we'll see how the fans react when it comes out. I'm sure they're going to
100%. It'll be sick.
And I was going to ask you, so how has the COVID-19 pandemic, it's affected a lot of musicians in different types of ways. Has it impacted your music in a negative way, a positive way? How has your work ethic changed, if any, at all during the pandemic? And what can we expect in terms of maybe a tour in the future?
Look, COVID isn't really a thing in Australia. Like, it is, but like we only have like 200 or so cases or something like that.
In the US, it's a lot worse. So maybe
we have huge quarantines. Like at the beginning of the year, we had a quarantine, and I hosted a gig which was meant to have like 150 people there, but it got reduced to a capacity of 50. And it was a sick gig, but it had to be seated, and it's just like, oh, what's the point? So that's probably the only actual thing that's affected from COVID, but all the gigs have gone back up to a capacity. So I'm hosting a few more in July in my hometown. So that'll be sick. But yeah, no, I'm a nerd. Kind of, I stay in my room, just play games and write music. So it's not like COVID's really affected me that much in general when we had lockdowns. All I do is stay at home, play games like World of Warcraft, and write music. So it's great.
You're dropping consistent music, so that's good.
Literally, I have like 3 albums worth of content unreleased. that I still got to mix and fix up, but it's coming. It's coming. It's getting better and better. I'm sick of sitting on stuff. But yeah, as a tour, I really want to. Me and Sloth Boy have been always. If you know Sloth Boy, we've been talking back and forth about doing a tour. I think he's coming to Australia at some point. If he gets the vaccine for COVID, whenever that's a thing. Otherwise, I really want to go over to Canada, do a gig over there and stuff. And if we're in Canada near him, do come over to America, do some shows wherever. And like, I think the next one we want to do is do one in Germany, like with the whole Idol gang kind of thing. But that's long in the future when we have money. Like just getting flights to like Canada from Australia is like a couple grand, and like even Germany, it's just like
long way away.
I'm just like, man, but I just want to. It's like all the countries that are surrounding Australia aren't easily accessible to my type of music, kind of thing. If that makes sense, like,
yeah.
I'm terrible at geography anyway, so.
No worries, man. I mean, well,
yeah, no. If I ever get the chance to tour, I'm going to tour.
I'm hoping to come to LA one of these days, man. That would be
fun
to see a gig over here by you.
I would love to play in LA, honestly. I reckon that'd be like the sickest time.
There's a big scene out here in LA too, so I'm sure a lot of people over here would be down to come see a show by you.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, it's like I like just watching videos. Like I have a few friends in LA. Trying to remember just musician friends, and like I really want to come over, and they're always hitting me up saying like, yeah, come over, do a gig, be sick. I'm like, man, I want to, but COVID's fucked over there.
Yep, it is.
And I haven't got a couple grand to just go over there. Like, come on. And then when you
gotta survive.
Yeah, and when you come back, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks, and the government doesn't like pay for it at all. So that's like $2,000 worth of just sitting in an apartment. I'm just like, man, is it really worth it at this point? Who knows? But like, at the end of the year, I should have a couple grand, like 8-10 grand, hopefully. So hopefully, with next year and vaccine rolling out, I'll be able to do something.
Great, man. I'm glad to hear that, and I hope that it happens soon. I'm hoping that you can get the financial stability and stuff to come out here. Do whatever you want to do as a musician and not have to worry about the finance part.
Literally. I honestly don't really give a shit about the money. I just like writing music for writing music. Like, having money would be great. Without not being able to worry about the rent would be sick. But like, man, going into like an Off-White store and buying random clothes because you can, it's not my vibe. I'd rather just help my friends and just chill, kind of thing.
Well, the passion really comes through in the music, and that's why you've built a fan base like the one you have, and that's why a lot of people, including myself, enjoy your music. So
thanks, man.
We're glad that you're passionate, and keep that passion going through all your songs. We know you will.
Thanks, man. Definitely will. All the new songs that are coming out are very emotionally strong. It's just going to keep coming. I got a lot of shit to write about still. And yeah.
We're excited to hear it, man. Well, this has been
keen to show it.
This has been a real pleasure, dude. I've really enjoyed talking to you today. And I'm really glad we were able to coordinate this and make this interview happen. I'm looking forward to hearing the stuff you have coming out in July. And
thanks, man. It'll be sick.
Yeah, I'm wishing you all the best out in Australia. Hope you keep writing the great music that you're writing, man.
Will do. And my dog's passed out on the bed for the interview. Been great. But
he's adorable.
Oh, yeah, no, it's been a great interview. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate all of this.
I really appreciate you coming out and doing this. So thank you so much, man.
Have a good one.
You too, dude. You too.